Okay, Art One. Today, I'm trusting you guys to set up your mini still lives all by yourself. So on the back table, there is 8 by 10 mat board. It's a little bit thicker. Some of them have black on the back, some of them don't. Some of them might have writing that says like crest on it or something. Don't worry about that. Just grab one and sit down, and then there's a roll of tape for each table. The only table that gets more than one roll of tape is the tall, long table in the middle of the room that multiple people sit at. Otherwise, each short table only gets one roll of tape per table, including the one by my desk. So I brought my items. I have them right here. I have a Pokemon game that actually has my name on it from when I was a kid. Yeah, I was a total Game Boy kid. I have candy cane. I love the holidays, but also my dad's a gumball vendor, so some candy in there. A pin that my mom gave me. I like classic rock stuff. I have a watercolor palette that I took the lid off of. It's still pretty new. This was one that I just got, but I thought I would use it. A bracelet from when I was a kid, and I went to SeaWorld that used to be in Cleveland, and they stamped the leather. I have a necklace that one of my students last year made me out of sea glass when she was on vacation. I have one of those glow-in-the-dark bead lizard things. These were like really kind of popular when I was a kid. Like there were books and stuff and everyone made them. It amazes me that those beads, like the bracelets, are coming in style again. It has a long stem, but this is a paper flower. My entire bouquet and all of my wedding flowers I made out of paper. So this is one of the extras that was left over. And then I have an extra piece, and I think I want to kind of hide it in there. This is my nephew Carter. We lost him last year, unfortunately. So this was when he was a baby. He was 5 when he passed, but I just liked when he was a baby because he was just so stinking cute. So I'm going to set up my items, and I'm going to walk you guys through what to do for yours, because I'm going to trust that you guys aren't just going to lay them all separately and flat. I gave you smaller boards so that things have to overlap and you kind of have to creatively brainstorm what you're doing here. So first off, you're definitely going to layer items. So I want you to kind of just initially start by, and remember if there's writing or stuff, you're probably going to include it. So initially start by laying things out. Maybe what's the best way to lay them out so you get like an interesting setup. Try to fill up the page a bit. So maybe I kind of curl that flower around, and maybe I'll slide Carter's picture kind of in the bottom. So if you look, I have a lot of stuff on my board, so it's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot going on, but it's going to make for a much more interesting picture. But maybe I don't like the necklace here. Maybe I'd rather have the necklace drape across the picture and go off the page. Maybe I want to move the Pokemon game to this side, and maybe I'll do my bracelet and I'll open it up. I don't think I've opened that since I got it as a kid when I wore it. And kind of have it draped across. So I want you to think about how you're going to layer your objects so that they're kind of on top of each other and make something interesting. This is where the tape is going to come in handy. We need to tape everything down on here. This is why I warned you guys, if you have headphones or earbuds or whatever, not to use ones that you use every day or items that you use every day, because how are you going to use them when we tape them down? Because you'll store these in your locker with your partner. So we're going to start to move stuff off. So I kind of have an idea where things go. If you're not sure, you could take a picture of it first so you could come back and finish it. Some things like this little picture that I might not want to damage the front of, I can make little loops of tape, really, really tiny loops, just by rolling the tape, and stick them under the picture so that it's still a little flat. And I know I could have it layered up, but I'm going to tape it down. All right, next is my paint palette, and this is kind of heavy and clunky, and some of the boards aren't super sturdy, so I'm definitely going to do tape on the bottom. You can see it's already chipping out some paint from my last painting that I did. I'm going to do some loops of tape on the bottom, maybe overlap that a little bit, as well as probably a loop or two on top. Now, whatever tape you see on your picture, like on your objects, you're going to draw. So if you are a little bit nervous about how much tape you use to tape down, maybe be aware of what you do. So I'll put like a little piece there, kind of make it look cool. Maybe another piece on the other side here. Just so that's kind of like a crafty look to it. So far, this is what I have. And I'll show you kind of an overhead shot when we're done. And I'll take a picture of my final. I'm pretty sure I had my lizard buddy kind of hanging up over here. So I'm going to have him come more up on the paint palette so that I get more tail in this empty corner up here. And you could even cut the tape down a little bit. I'm just going to cut a big strip here so that I have a little bit to use. So if I have a big piece of tape here, I could tear little pieces. Again, you're going to have to draw them, even if they're funky shaped, to kind of hold that bunny in place. Maybe as a little strip so that his arm stays. Or maybe I put a little piece under him. I know this isn't the most exciting thing to listen to, is my planning of my taping of objects, but I need you guys to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do for your project. I'll tape my Pokemon game down. So just a piece of tape on the back. And it's okay. Notice that I have a couple things going off the page. That's okay. They don't all have to be stuck right on the page that you can see them. Let's see. I'm going to do my necklace. And so that I don't cover the necklace, I'm going to just do a little roll of tape on the back. And you know what? I am going to put on the picture. I think we have an extra copy, but put on the picture here and then have it go off. So I'm just going to do like a little piece of tape holding the chain down in a couple spots. So that looks kind of cool. Let's see, I could do the button up top. And I think I'll stick it from the back so that it holds on there. Maybe that's not going to work. It's kind of a trial and error moment when you figure out what you like or what you don't like. But I do want to see that you guys overlap things so that you get more of an interesting composition than if you don't overlap anything. You can add my flower, which took forever to make these flowers. I don't regret it that much, but it did take forever. So maybe I'll tape it that you don't see it that much underneath here. And then kind of off at the top, because that actually holds, if you see. It's holding on there really well. I have my candy cane, and I need a bigger piece of tape for that. But we're working around just trying to get those items laid down in an interesting way that you're going to want to draw them. And then the last thing I have is my bracelet from SeaWorld. So I'll make a couple loops because I don't want to cover the buttons up all the way. And maybe, let's see, what do I like? And I have it go off the page and over the paint palette up here. So that it kind of curves and jumps around. So if I hold this, you can see that things are sitting on top of each other. They're three-dimensional. And we're going to work on drawing all of this stuff, even all the little details, the font, the picture of my nephew, the font and the tongue on the Rolling Stones pin. We're going to make sure we draw all of those little details onto our projects. And I like having the little tape details because I think it looks crafty. And we're going to do it in black and white. So don't worry about the color. We're just going to worry about the shading right now.